Hello everyone, and welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today's Tribute USA. We're so glad to have you here with us today. In this video, we're honoring the incredible legends who have recently left us. These remarkable individuals touched so many lives, and their legacies will live on forever. Before we begin, please support our channel by giving this video a thumbs up, subscribing, and turning on the notification bell so you don't miss our future tributes. Your support truly means a lot to us. Now, let's come together to celebrate and remember these unforgettable icons. Let's get started.
On July 17, 2025, the world bid farewell to a humble hero. Jake Melvin Larson, affectionately known as Papa Jake to his 1.2 million TikTok followers, passed away peacefully at his home in Lafayette, California, just shy of his 103rd birthday. His granddaughter Michaela Larson shared that he stayed bright and joyful until the end, even cracking jokes till the very end, signing off in his signature style. Love you all the most. Born on December 20, 1922, in Hope, Minnesota, Larson was a Depression-era farm boy who lied about his age to enlist in the National Guard. At just 15, he later became a decorated staff sergeant with the 135th Infantry Regiment, 34th Infantry Division. In 1944, he took part in Operation Overlord, surviving the deadly gunfire on Omaha Beach on D-Day, and later fought through the brutal Battle of the Bulge. For his valor, he earned the Bronze Star and France's Legion of Honor, symbols of courage and sacrifice. For decades, his wartime memories stayed private, shared only with family and comrades. But in 2020, when his granddaughter created Storytime with Papa Jake on TikTok, he became a global storyteller. His heartfelt anecdotes, sometimes funny, always poignant, captured hearts. By the time of his passing, he had more than 1.2 million followers, all drawn to a man who called himself the luckiest man in the world. In June 2025, he received a News and Documentary Emmy for his appearance alongside Christiane Amanpour on CNN, commemorating the 80th anniversary of D-Day. It was a testament to his ability to blend solemn remembrance with engaging humanity. But Jake's legacy went far beyond accolades. He returned to Normandy year after year, and towns across France greeted him with reverence. At every ceremony, he opened arms for selfies and hugs, insisting, "We are the lucky ones. We are their family." His memoir, The Luckiest Man in the World, captured both the horrors of war and the quiet blessings of life, family, love, and a century of witnessing history. He often reminded world leaders, "Make peace, not war." That message echoed through generations, carried not by a general, but by a farm boy who chose humility over heroism. He was a witness, a teacher, a grandfather to the world. Legacy highlights: today and Battle of the Bulge. Veteran, stormed Omaha Beach in World War II's defining operation. Later fought in Europe's decisive campaign. Decorated serviceman, awarded the Bronze Star and France's Legion of Honor, testaments to his bravery. TikTok legend, shared history, humor, and humanity with over 1 million followers. Emmy storyteller, recognized for his role in keeping World War II memory alive in 2025. Global ambassador of remembrance, hugs at ceremonies, heartfelt stories, and lifelong calls for lasting peace. Every person that landed on Omaha Beach came through these fingers. Papa Jake's quiet reverence for those who didn't return. Jake Larson spent over a century bearing witness not as a hero, but as a grateful survivor, a storyteller, and a man with a peanut-sized heart and a message of gratitude for freedom. His home may feel quieter now, but his stories echo across screens and shores. His legacy will live in the peace he championed, the hugs he gave, the history he preserved. Rest in peace, Jake Papa Jake Larson. You taught us that the greatest legacy is to remember with love and to tell stories that outlive us all. On July 21, 2025, in Buenos Aires, Argentina lost one of its most revered literary voices. Huroricardo Allesino, aged 75, passed away in his native city after a lifetime dedicated to poetry, translation, journalism, and cultural discourse. He leaves behind a legacy marked by intellectual generosity and artistic breadth. Born on August 11, 1949, Allesino trained alongside poets such as Marcelo Cohen and Irene Gruss in the Mario Jorge de Lelis literary workshop. From early on, he committed himself to words as creator, interpreter, and commentator. In the turbulent 1970s, he became a political journalist, writing for progressive news agency outlets and left-leaning papers like La Calle and La Tarde. He was an editor and chronicler through some of Argentina's darkest years, standing firm in commitment to truth and human rights. Allesino's literary and journalistic journey continued as director of the political magazine Generation Basher Sen, culture editor of El Ch. He later served as head writer at Conozca MS and Mistíos, and collaborated on literary journals such as 18 Whiskies, Hablar de Poesía, en León, en El Bidete, Also wrote for Diario de Poesía, an influential poetic periodical in the 1980s. A translator, he earned acclaim for works, such as his full Spanish rendition of Dante Esse Divina Commedia, along with translations of Guido Cavo, John Keats, and Pier Paolo Pasolini. His translations became literary landmarks in Argentina, combining precision with poetic intensity. His own poetry spans decades, with volumes like Vuelo Bajo, 1974, Poeta Antiguo 1980, Paisaje con Autor 1988, and Estación Finlandia 2012, many included in anthologies across Latin America and translated into English and Italian. Allesino received the Biblioteca Nacional Career Award in 2014, the Nacional de Poesía Award in 2015 and Conex Diplomas, in both Journalism 2017 and Translation 2024. In the classroom, he taught poetry and journalism at the University of Buenos Aires and other institutions in Buenos Aires province. Guiding the next generation in both lyrical craft and civic conscience, Allesino's voice was unflinchingly rooted in the social, political, and aesthetic fabric of Argentina. A critic once said he was a titan of cultural memory, a man whose translations opened global literature to Argentine readers, and whose poetry mediated between urban urgency and existential lyricism. Legacy highlights poet and author. A lyrical catalog spanning Vuelo Bajo, La Línea del Coyote, and more, bridging tradition and introspection with depth. Translator of Dante, his 2015 to 2016 edition of the Divina Commedia and other translations reputedly revitalized classical translation in Spanish. Journalist and editor, a voice in progressive and cultural journalism from the 70s onward. Editor, Hasta el Ciudadano, Conozca Más, Misterios, and others. Educator and mentor, taught at Argentina's leading universities and influenced literary journals and aspiring writers. Cultural Crossroads, awarded Conex Honors in Two Fields Journalism 2017 and Translation 2024, underscoring his dual mastery. I need Dante to speak to me in my language. Allesino said of his translation work in artistic quest to bring universality into intimate idiom. His life embodied translation in both senses, moving meaning across languages English, Italian, Spanish, and moving culture across time, ideology, and generations. He is survived by literary colleagues, students, and readers across continents. In classrooms, pubs, newsrooms, and poetry gatherings, his influence endures. Rest in peace, Jorge Allesino. Your words built bridges. Your translations unseated boundaries. Your life reminds us that in poetry and in witness, there lives both rebellion and grace. On March 26, 2025, in a gentle moment surrounded by family and close friends, Dorothy Marie Stone, aged 91, passed away peacefully in Montana. Her daughter, acclaimed actress Sharon Stone, announced the news on July 21, recalling her hilarious, complex mother who embodied the resilience of a Depression-era childhood and a lifelong devotion to caring for others. Born May 26, 1933, in Franklin, Pennsylvania, grew up shaped by Great Depression hardships. Strong-willed and independent, she married Joseph Stone in 1950, embarking on nearly 6 decades. Together, before his death in 2009, the couple built a comfortable life in Meadville and West Springfield, raising 4 children. Ever the hard worker, Dorothy completed bookkeeping studies through night school and became the backbone of Joseph's tool-and-die business. Aggressive Forge, through her youngest years and into motherhood, Sharon, Kelly, Michael, and the late Patrick Dorothy modeled uncompromising strength. Sharon reflected on her mother's tough love approach. I taught you to stand on your 2 goddamn feet, a guiding principle Sharon carried into her acting career. Following Joseph's passing, bravely began a new chapter. She split her time between Beverly Hills and Lakeside, Montana, where she found joy in gardening, bingo nights, and entertaining as the heart of a large circle of friends. Known for her eclectic style and playful spirit, Dorothy maintained her humor and warmth right up to her final days. Her legacy lives on in her children Sharon, Kelly, and Michael, and her many grandchildren, Brian, Roan, Laird, Hunter, Quinn, Kaylee, Nick, and Stephanie, plus 4 great-grandchildren who knew her as Sharon's reflection that her mother was a product of the last depression. Let's not do this again is a call to kindness and compassion, inspired by Dorothy's example. Legacy highlights Depression-era roots. Born 1933, Dorothy's childhood shaped her grit, work ethic, and empathy. Matriarch of 4, married in 1950, mother to Michael, Sharon, Kelly, and the late Patrick Stone. Family business backbone, cared for the books at Aggressive Forge, supported her husband's entrepreneurial spirit. Model of tough love, raised Sharon with determination and expectations, guiding her to stand tall. Montana and Beverly Hills life found new community, joy, and friendships in her later years. Enduring matriarch survived by 3 children, numerous grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, all heirs to her love and tenacity. My hilarious complex mother died. Let's protect and care. Sharon Stone on Instagram. Summing up Dorothy's spirit and her final call to empathy. Dorothy Stone's story is rooted in humble strength and laughter. From small-town Pennsylvania and Shanira, trials to nurturing a family and embracing new chapters in Montana and California, she lived with integrity, love, and humor. Her legacy shines in Sharon's stardom and in the stories shared at family tables, bingo nights, and front porch gardens. Even now, her voice echoes in Let's Protect and Care, a timeless invitation to kindness in uncertain times. Rest in peace. Dorothy Stone. Your journey shaped generations. Your kindness continues. Your story endures. Asterisk. On the evening of July 15, 2025, British television lost one of its cherished talents. Judy Louu, aged 78, passed away peacefully after a valiant battle with stage 4 cancer. Her daughter, actress Kate Beckinsale, revealed that Judy died in her arms after enduring immeasurable suffering, a moment both sorrowful and profoundly intimate. The news left fans and colleagues grieving not only a performer, but a woman whose heart shone through every role. Born March 6, 1947. In Urmston, Lancashire, Judy was the only child of Norman and Nancy Louu. She excelled academically at Urmston Grammar, earning a bachelor's degree in English and drama from the University of Birmingham. In 1969-70, she was among the original cast of the West End's groundbreaking musical Hera, daring cultural moment that marked the start of her stage career. She quickly transitioned to television with her role as Lily Palmer in Ace of Wands, 1972-72. Launching a career spanning 5 decades. Judy became a familiar face in British drama, appearing in Edward VII, Z-Cars, General Hospital, Inspector Morse, The Chief Casualty, Holby City, and the BBC miniseries Fool Me Once in 2020 for her final screen appearance. Her performances were defined by grace and depth. She embraced diverse roles from period pieces to medical dramas with warmth and intelligence that elevated every production. Colleagues remember her not for celebrity but for craft, kindness, and professionalism, a true actor's actor. In 1977, Judy married actor Richard Beckinsale, welcoming their daughter Kate in 1973. Though Richard tragically died in 1979, Judy raised Kate with resilience and love. In 1997, she married TV director Roy Battersby, who passed in early 2020 for another devastating loss in recent years. Kate Beckinsale described her mother as the compass of my life, the love of my life, my dearest friend. Her tribute spoke of Judy's huge heart, bravery, and belief in the ultimate good in people and the world, adding that the world now feels dim without her. Legacy highlights. Legacy, Huroricardo pioneering stage beginnings. Original member of the audacious Hair cast in 1969-70. Television mainstay, appeared in beloved series, including Ace of Wands, Inspector Morse, Space Island 1, General Hospital, Casualty, and Fool Me Once. Maternal strength raised Kate Beckinsale as a single mother, carrying on after personal tragedy while continuing to pursue her craft. Beloved colleagues, universally respected for her warmth, generosity, and artistic intent, overshadowed by fame, always illuminating the story. She has been brave in so many ways, believing in the ultimate good in people, and the world is so dim without her. Words from Kate Beckinsale, capturing Judy's light and loss. Judy Louu lived a life of generosity on stage, on screen, and off. She met personal pain with courage, stayed true to her vocation, and left behind a legacy of compassion, artistry, and unwavering authenticity. She is survived by her daughter, stepchildren from Roy Battersby, and countless friends in the entertainment world. Rest in peace, Judy Louu. Your roles may have ended, but your kindness, talent, and spirit endure. On July 20, 2025, during a family vacation in Costa Rica, tragedy claimed the life of Malcolm Jamal Warner, aged 54. While swimming at Playa Cocles near Lehman, he was caught in a powerful rip current. Despite efforts by beachgoers and the Costa Rican Red Cross, he was pronounced dead at the scene. An autopsy later confirmed his death was due to accidental drowning by asphyxia from submersion. Malcolm Jamal rose to fame as Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show 1984 to 1992, bringing nuance and gravity to a beloved sitcom. His portrayal earned him a Primetime Emmy nomination, a rare feat for a teenage actor at the time, and helped transcend the show's reputation from family comedy to cultural touchstone. He continued his career across sitcoms like Malcolm and Eddie, 1996 to 2000, where he co-starred with Eddie Griffin and later starred in Read Between the Lines, Suits, The Resident, and 911. His role as Dr. H. Austin on The Resident 2018-2023 revealed a confident, steady presence, one that became emblematic of his evolving craft. Beyond acting, Malcolm was a Grammy-winning musician and an acclaimed poet, honored in 2015 for Best Traditional R&B Performance on Robert Glasper's Jesus Children, featuring Lala Hathaway. He was also nominated for a spoken word poetry album in 2023. In June 2024, he co-launched the podcast Not All Hood, offering heartfelt conversations on Black identity, mental health, and creativity. Colleagues remembered him for both his talent and his spirit. The resident coasters, Tracy Ellis Ross, Read Between the Lines, Viola Davis, Jeffrey Owens, and many others praised him as warm, generous, and deeply creative. Fox Entertainment called him extraordinary. Remembered most for his warmth, kind heart, and lasting impact. Though private about his family life, Warner is survived by his wife and daughter. Countless fans expressed grief and gratitude online, citing the comfort and inspiration his performances offered across generations. Legacy highlights their impact. The Cosby Show, AMCO. He redefined teen life on television. Intellectual, emotional, authentic, versatile actor from Malcolm and Eddie Two Suits and The Resident. He continually reinvented himself. Poet and musician. Ingram winner, spoken word nominee. Artist whose voice extended beyond acting. Podcast creator. Not All Hood, a platform for sincere dialogue on identity, culture, and healing. Theo was OUR son, OUR brother, OUR friend, declared Viola Davis, echoing the affection millions felt for him. Jeffrey Owens shared. Malcolm had the mind of an actor and the heart of a musician. He was generous, a lovely man. In a world craving presence, Malcolm Jamal Warner stayed present. He worked calmly, laughed deeply, created authentically, and lived quietly, on purpose. His passing leaves a silence felt across screens and souls alike, but his resonance through laughter, poetry, and love remains unmistakable. Rest in peace, Malcolm Jamal Warner. Your voice shaped sitcom history, bridged generations, and reminded us all how stories told with warmth can endure. Beyond screen time. On the morning of June 28, 2025, in Cincinnati, Ohio, baseball stood still. Hall of Famer Dave "The Cobra" Parker, aged 74, passed away after a prolonged battle with Parkinson's disease. His death came just shy of his scheduled induction into the National Baseball Hall of Fame, a fitting final act to a storied career that spanned nearly 2 decades and inspired a generation. Born June 9, 1951, in Grenada, Mississippi, and raised in Cincinnati, Parker was a prodigy athlete. A knee injury shifted his path from football to baseball, and by 1970, the Pittsburgh Pirates had drafted him. In 1973, he debuted in the majors, igniting a career defined by swagger, power, and unforgettable quotes like, "When the leaves turn brown, I'll be wearing the batting crown." From 1975 to 1979, Parker emerged as one of baseball's elite. He captured back-to-back National League batting titles in 1977 and 1978, earned the NL MVP in '78, snagged 3 straight Gold Gloves, and was a 7-time All-Star. His right arm, one of the strongest in the game, tormented Besorners and dazzled fans. At 6 feet 5 inches and 230 pounds, Parker was an intimidating power hitter. He knocked the cover off a baseball in the minors, toppled mountains with monster swings, and starred in the 1979 World Series as the Pirates brought home the championship. A decade later, he claimed a second ring with the 1989 Oakland A's, where teammates remembered his mentorship and clubhouse presence. His career was more than stats: a .290 batting average, 2,712 hits, 339 home runs, and 1,493 RBIs across 19 seasons, with stops in Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Oakland, Milwaukee, California, and Toronto. In 1985, he showcased flair and fun by winning MLB's inaugural Home Run Derby. Parker's life off the field was a mix of triumph and turmoil. He signed baseball's first-ever $1 million-a-year contract in 1979, emblem of his stardom. Also endured public battles with injuries and substance issues in the 1980s. Diagnosed with Parkinson's disease in 2012, he responded by establishing the Dave Parker 39 Foundation, dedicating his time to research and awareness, though bypassed by writers on his first 15 Hall of Fame ballots. Parker's impact was finally honored in December 2024, when the Classic Baseball Era Committee elected him with an 87.5% vote. He was to be formally enshrined on July 27, 2025. Less than a month after his passing, Pittsburgh Pirates chairman Bob Nutting described the loss as leaving a void, while MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred called the Cobra a gifted all-around player whose numerous accomplishments led to his upcoming induction in Cooperstown. His former teams, including the 1989 A's, lamented his passing and celebrated his leadership and vibrancy. Legacy highlight: swing and swagger, highest batting average, 334, NL MVP, batting champion twice, Gold Glove defense, 3 consecutive Gold Gloves, 7-time All-Star, World Series 2-timer champion in 1979 Pirates. In 1989 A's closing parenthesis, first $1 million player, trailblazer for athlete compensation, Hall of Fame, triumph finally honored via committee, inducted posthumously. Parkinson's advocate, Founded a foundation supporting research and community. He was such a big dude, you just wanted to be around him. Hall of Famer Barry Larkin recalled capturing Parker's larger-than-life impact both on and off the field. Dave Parker, the swagger, the power, the charisma, the Cobra left a legacy etched in baseball lore. His final chapter, cut short by disease, did not dim the blaze of his career. Instead, it underscored a life lived fully, fiercely, and unforgettably. Rest in peace, Dave Parker. You were the strike of lightning that lit up the baseball. Diamond Dan forever changed the game. On July 20, 2025, Hollywood and the theater world lost one of its most enduring yet understated talents. Tom Troop, age 97, passed away peacefully of natural causes in his Beverly Hills home just days after celebrating his birthday. His nephew confirmed that the father, actor, husband, and mentor was surrounded by family in his final moments. Born July 15, 1928, in North Kansas City, Missouri, Tom discovered acting early in local theater. He earned a scholarship to the Herbert Berghoff Studio in New York, studying under Ute Hagen, but destiny called again when he was drafted into the Korean War, returning home a Bronze Star recipient. He made his Broadway debut in 1957 as Peter Van Dan in The Diary of Anne Frank. By the late 1950s, Tom had moved to Los Angeles, embarking on a screen career that spanned more than 6 decades. A consummate character actor, he delivered memorable guest turns in iconic television series including Star Trek as L.T. Harold, Mission Impossible, Frasier, Cheers, Murder, She Wrote, Up, Cagney and Lacey, and Highway to Heaven. On the big screen, he quietly illuminated supporting roles in The Big Fisherman 1959, The Devil's Brigade 1968, Kelly's Heroes 1970, My Own Private Idaho 1991, and Summer School 1987. He even co-wrote and starred in the indie film SoFi 1968, based on Gogol's Diary of a Madman. Above all, his heart lay in the theater. Alongside his beloved wife Carol Cook, his partner of nearly 60 years until her passing in 2023 at age 98, Tom graced stages in The Lion in Winter, The Gin Game, and Father's Day. Together, they earned the LA Ovation Award for Career Achievement in 2002, affectionately known as the Luntz of LA Theater. Their bond was both personal and professional. Married in 1964, they starred opposite each other and traveled the country performing. Their love story became rooted in the craft they shared. In the early 1970s, Tom and his friend Charles Nelson Riley co-founded The Faculty, an acting school in LA dedicated to nurturing generations of performers. He also continued to write his one-man play, The Diary of a Madman, showcased his depth as both actor and creator. His final screen appearance came in the 2019 film Time Out, marking over 60 years of consistent, loyal presence on screen. A man of integrity, Tom never chased stardom. He earned respect through craft, kindness, and commitment. Tom is survived by his son Christopher, daughter-in-law Becky Coulter, granddaughter Ashley, and numerous nieces and nephews. His nephew honored him, stating he had a lovely, full life and an equally graceful departure. Legacy highlights domain contribution Broadway and theater debut in The Diary of Anne Frank. Acclaimed roles in The Lion in Winter, The Gin Game, Father's Day. Television icon guest appearances on Star Trek, Mission Impossible, Frasier, Cheers, Murder, She Wrote, over 70 series. Film character roles from Kelly's Heroes to My Own Private Idaho. His screen work added authenticity and depth. Educator and mentor co-founded The Faculty in LA, enduring advocate for actors' development. Tom didn't command every scene, but you felt his absence when he was gone, a sentiment echoed across colleagues and audiences alike. Tom Troop embodied the power of steady dedication. He carried the spirit of a generation built on craft, collaboration, and humility. Though his voice is silent, his presence resonates every theater seat, every studio set, and in the quiet surety of those he trained and inspired. Rest in peace, Tom Troop. Your roles may have been brief, but your legacy remains eternal. Thank you for the years. On July 7, 2025, in Burks, Mississippi, the gospel world lost one of its most radiant voices. Mossy Mama Burks, aged 92, passed away peacefully at home. She was a gifted lead soloist whose powerful voice and joyful performances marked over a quarter-century with the Mississippi Mass Choir, leaving a legacy etched in faith and song. Born June 17, 1933, in Forest, Mississippi, Mama Burks grew up working in cotton fields and as a domestic servant before finding her way to Jackson to pursue education and music. In 1996, she joined the Mississippi Mass Choir, initially singing in the alto section. Soon, her soulful voice rose to prominence as a lead soloist, capturing hearts with spiritually stirring renditions like They Got the Word, I'm Not Tired Yet, and This Morning When I Rose. While preparing for a recording session, she gave her first solo on This Morning When I Rose, walking on stage. shimmering with confidence and enveloping the audience in an unforgettable presence. Mississippi Mass Choir director Jerry Mannery reflected, "When Mama Burks walked out on that stage, the whole atmosphere shook. Her influence wasn't confined to Mississippi. She toured internationally: South Africa, Italy, Japan, the UK, becoming one of the first voices of gospel in global arenas. She performed for dignitaries at events like the Stellar Awards and had her music licensed for ESPN's Scott Van Pelt Show, bringing her soulful praise into arenas far beyond the church." After retiring in 2020, following the choir's 50th anniversary celebration, she left behind a rich tapestry of ministry, having touched countless lives through both her voice and her humility. Legacy of faith and music. Gilliman significance. Born June 17, 1933, in Forest, MS. Later moved to Jackson, searching for education and musical calling. Lead soloist, joined in 1996. Known for powerful renditions of gospel staples that moved souls. Iconic performances, "I'm Not Tired Yet" and "This Morning When I Arose" became signature songs. Global ambassador of gospel, performed across continents. Known for shaking the atmosphere with her presence. Cultural reach, shared gospel music through the Stellar Awards and ESPN licensing. Legacy and retirement. Retired in 2020. Remembered for ministry spanning more than 2 decades through trials from cotton fields to global stages. Mama Burks remained steadfast, humble, and devoted to gospel's profound message. Her extraordinary gift was grace-filled, compelling listeners to pray, rejoice, and hope. Today, the Mississippi Mass Choir, gospel greats, congregations, and fans worldwide remember her not merely as a singer, but as a spiritual force and a beacon of hope. Tributes flood from those uplifted by her music at times of grief, illness, and searching, proof that her influence transcended voice. "She has run the race and is now with the Lord," wrote one mourner, capturing Mama Burks' final, triumphant chorus. "Her voice may rest, but its echo continues, resonating in hearts, hymns, and healing. Rest in peace, Mossy Mama Burks. Your voice carried souls, your song carried faith, and your legacy lives forever."